Okay, so welcome back everyone to my channel. My name is Melvin Cabasag, and yeah, I have a very special guest today. We met in the ASEAN Forum. It's a youth festival for the youth in Southeast Asia, and I volunteered in the forum, and it so happened that we were on the same breakout room. So I was the moderator of that room, and then she was the rapporteur of that room. So I am very honored and I am very excited to welcome and to let you meet our very special guest for today. It's Allison from Myanmar. Hi, Allison.
Hi Melvin and hi everybody. So first of all, I would like to greet Mingalaba. That means good morning or that is a greeting in our language. And it's an honor to be here and to get invited for you to be interviewed by you, Melvin.
Yeah, actually, I've been doing this content, this kind of content for like 3 months now. So in my first episode, I interviewed a teacher from Indonesia, and then in the second episode, my friend from Hong Kong, which I happened to meet using a social media. It's called Good Night. So we met in using Goodnight, and then we eventually became friends, and we followed each other on Instagram. And then on my third episode, it's also an English teacher from Malaysia. So I think I'm having a lot of teacher guests in my content.
Yes.
Yes. So guys, if you are watching us on YouTube, this is our 4th episode on YouTube, and if you are listening to us on Spotify, this is our 6th episode. So this is episode 6 on my podcast. It's Podcast by Sir Mel. So if you have, if you are generous enough, you can follow me in my in Spotify, and you can subscribe to my channel in YouTube. So without much further ado, let's begin. So are you ready, Allison? I have to keep
Yes,
on asking.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, you told me that you are very shy when it comes
Yes.
to facing the camera, but I mean, you look great today.
Oh, I think Melvin, that's because I watched a lot of your YouTube videos and I took the inspiration from you. Honestly, this is my first time and I'm usually very shy to be like in front of the camera. But like meeting you and listening to your story, like I think myself like, why not give it a try, right? So sometimes like we just have to push ourselves out of the boundaries.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's really important that we go out from our comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
thank you so much for accepting my invitation, and I am very honored and glad to have you. Okay, so let's proceed to the first question. So what is your first impression about the Philippines and the Filipinos?
Well, like whenever the Philippines or the Filipino is mentioned, what crossed my mind is my favorite Filipino series called Mara Clara. I don't know if you know that, but that is quite popular in my country. And I grew up watching Filipino series and admiring Daniel and Catherine romance. So that was pretty much my teenage years.
Yeah.
And at the time, as a teen and a learner of English, what really impressed me about the Philippines and the Filipino is their language, English language proficiency. And I remember talking with my friends how I wish our country would adopt the methodology and the curriculum that the Philippines government used in our school, so that we could improve the English language proficiency in our country.
Wow. You know what? Catherine and Daniel are, love teams in my country, and I think they're, together now. And yeah, they're very popular also in the Philippines. So it's kind of, interesting to know that they're also very popular in Myanmar. Yeah, I think the Mara Clara was aired, I don't know, 7 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that I was quite young.
Yeah, I think I was 12 years old then.
Yes, I guess so.
And what time is it aired in Myanmar? Because in the Philippines, it was aired during nighttime. I think around 9 p.m.
In here as well, it was at night time. So I got to finish my homework first to watch the series. So that's what I remember.
Yeah.
It kind of motivated me to finish my homework because I wanted to watch that series. So I got to finish them.
So your parents would not let you watch the series if you don't finish your homework first.
Yeah, they were quite strict.
Okay, so regarding the English language in the Philippines, like I think for most Filipinos, especially nowadays, they are very exposed to the language because of television, the social media, YouTube. Most of our, based on my observations, like the parents, Filipino parents here, like to their children to watch cartoons that are in English. So yeah, we have Disney Channel, Cartoon Network. All of these TV channels are in English, so it's pretty good exposure for the kids. And also we get to learn the language since preschool until college. Yeah, like it's really all around. But yeah, that's it. That's how we get to learn and exposed to the language.
I think that is something that we should imitate from the Filipinos.
Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. How does Myanmar media portray the Philippines? Like, I'm curious about, like, especially on the news, because I can hear stories that other countries like South Korea, like when they portray our country in their media, it's like a country that's dangerous or unsafe because of terrorism, like that. So, and our country is portrayed as a very poor country. So I'm curious, how is it portrayed in Myanmar media also?
Okay, so like listening to you about the other international media portraying your country, I can pretty relate to that because I'm from Myanmar and our country is usually portrayed as a dangerous country that one shouldn't visit and like full of poverty, right?
Yeah.
But I guess from what I remember, the media in our country, I think they usually portray Philippines as a country that embrace the diversity and that treat the queer community with the respect. And there are some public figures in my country that are quite well known from the Philippines, such as Sino Loresca.
Wow.
Do you happen to know him?
No, I don't know.
He's quite well known in my country. He represents the queer community and he's been doing some charity work here. So I think, frankly speaking, we learn about the Philippines more from movies and public figure rather than from the media coverage. So from by looking at the public figure like Sinon and other celebrities, we perceive Philippines as a close-knit society with outgoing people, and we really like their welcoming and confident personality. And we like from the movies, I feel like Philippines is a place free of judgments. Like when it comes to the queer community and other diversities.
Yeah. It's actually great to know that. That's how it's being portrayed outside. But actually, when we talked about judgments against other sectors in the community, like the queer community or the LGBT community, like in the Philippines, they still receive hate and judgments from other Filipinos as well. So they're not that totally accepted in the community because they are portrayed as subject to joke, to laughter, like that. So they get bullied, they get discriminated. Like when you see like a gay having long hair, he gets discriminated in public. So it's still happening in the country. I just hope that with the many people that are fighting for their rights, and many people have stood up for these people also, so I just hope that in the future we will be a better country and a more welcoming to diversity. Yeah. So what food in your country would you like Filipinos to try? I'm so curious because I haven't, known anything about Myanmar yet. Because like if Philippines from movies and not from media coverage, like in the Philippines also, like we don't get to hear a lot about Myanmar. So I'm kinda curious. Especially the food.
Yes, that's a good country. That's a good question because like I be a proud Burmese when it comes to the local food and cuisines. So firstly, I think if I would like my Filipino friend to try our local specialty, which is pickle tea leaf salad. That is a traditional delicacy that we offer to the guests, and it is eaten all over the country. And the tea leaf, we grow them in the Shan State, which is a cold and hilly region in Myanmar. And it is usually served with like dry shrimp, fried garlic, and peas. And we offer that to the guests in a manner to show that the guests are welcome.
Wow.
So that would be the first thing that I would like my Filipino friends to try.
Wow,
Yes.
that's great. Okay, next. What do you love most about your culture?
Mhm. I'm really proud that we were taught the kindness and respect since we were at very young age. I think it is crucial to instill these values since the children are young, and our culture taught us like to love and respect each other since we were very young, and that is what I love most about our culture.
Wow. It's great because the sad thing about today's generation is that I think many have lost their respect for like the elderly, and then many have gone, how do you say it? I don't know how to say it. Like many of our, especially the students right now, because as a teacher I experience having conversations with students, and then they would just message you on Facebook and say, "Sir, I want to comply the requirements like this and that," like without saying good morning or hello, sir, I would like to ask, may I ask you a question, without those polite words or phrases. So they no longer use it. So it's very it's very crucial. That's true. I agree with you that it's very crucial to maintain and instill these values to our kids. Yeah, and that's a very good lesson that Filipino kids should learn from you.
It's an honor.
Yeah. Okay, next. What is your favorite word in your language, and why? Why is it your favorite word?
I really love my language. It's such a colorful and such a beautiful language. And I think my favorite word in my language would be "jesuba." So that means thank you in our language, in English. And this is the word that we use to describe the gratitude. And I feel like we don't say it enough here. I pick it up from the movies that I watch, mostly in Western movies. Like even for the trivia matters, they show their gratitude. They say thank you to everybody, and I think this is a good way to make others people feel good without costing you anything. I think the culture of say "jesuba" deserves to be promoted in my country.
Wow. So it means gratitude.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you accompany it with like a gesture?
Yeah,
It's
we
like-
usually say like we smile, and like we Burmese we like to smile while we speak.
Yeah.
So when we say like "jesuba,"
I can
we
see
usually
it now.
smile. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Now this one, I'm curious. Since I haven't really known much about your place, which place in Myanmar would you bring your Filipino friend first?
Yeah, as you can see in my background, that is Bagan, an Asian city in Myanmar. This is quite a famous spot among tourists from all
Yeah.
over the world, and that would be the first place that I would like to bring my friends to. Like this is where you can learn the essence of our culture, Asian architecture, and touch beauty and the history. Yeah, I can even picture myself like enjoying the sunset in Bagan and explaining all about the history to my friend.
Wow. So is it open now?
Yes, it is open now. It is in fact it is an area protected by the UNESCO. It is a safe place to travel, but I invite you not to visit Myanmar during this
Yeah.
time because you know
Yeah.
because of the political traumas and everything.
Yeah, I understand. But you know what? When like for example, when I searched Myanmar in Google, like that picture, your background, that's the first picture that would show up. Yeah, it just shows that it's really popular in your country. Is it found in the capital city?
It is a little far from the capital city, I might say. I don't live in the capital. So I live in Mandalay. It's not too far from where I live. It's just 4 or 5 hours drive from the city where I live. From the that is the second largest city in Myanmar.
Yeah. And you know what? The structure of the buildings, it's very Asian. I don't get to
Yes.
see, like the very Asian structures in my country, because in the Philippines, like we are more like Spanish. Yeah, because we were colonized by the Spaniards for 333 years. So they've been occupying our country. So I don't get to see, very Asian structures like that in your background. So I'm kinda, curious how it looks like in person. Yeah, I get to see structures like that in Myanmar, in Cambodia, in Laos. There's also one in Brunei. So I mean, these countries, structures and buildings are so amazing. Very, very Asian.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
history is quite interesting too.
Yes, that's true. Now, maybe okay, we can now proceed to like the more serious question. How bad is the pandemic in Myanmar right now?
It is quite devastating now. The death rate has been high in Myanmar, and around 400 people are dying every day because of the disease. And as you know, since the military took over in our country, we don't have the adequate COVID treatment center or the quarantine centers. So the citizens are facing with the shortage of medicine. The price of the medicine are quite high now, and you have to get in a line to buy some simple medicine like paracetamol. You have to wake up early and then stand in a line to get the medicine, to buy the medicine by yourself. And worse than that, due to the cope, we don't a large proportion of the population haven't got access to the vaccine yet. So the situations are quite bad, and they are predicted to get worsened under the rule of the military.
Oh. So I mean, that's very sad because you have to, wait in line to buy just a paracetamol. Like, is that scenario happening like all over the country, like anywhere?
Yes, it's been all
Wow.
over the country.
Wow.
And the military government, they are not doing anything to control that situation.
How about the vaccination? You mentioned about vaccines.
Yes, if you want to get vaccinated, you have to pay. Like you have to order from the private laboratories because the government is not covering enough vaccine for the population. And the people who get the vaccine, they are somehow related to the military, or they are contacts. They usually get the vaccine for free. So as a citizen, like as a civilian, if you want to get vaccinated, you have to order from the private laboratories, and it costs you around $50 per
I
person.
mean, yeah, it's way too expensive.
Yes, it is too expensive for the people in here too, because the average salary, the salary that we got is for a graduate, we usually got like around $150 in our country. So that is that is 1/3 of your salary for the vaccine. Yeah, that is very expensive.
As a teacher, how challenging is it for you to conduct your class during pandemic? Because you mentioned you teach, right? So
Yes.
how challenging is it?
Yeah, it's been quite a challenge. Like, I've been teaching classes online because of the pandemic, and given the low salary range in Myanmar, most households, they cannot afford computer or the Wi-Fi connection or the internet. So like most of the kids, they cannot learn anything at the moment. And even if they have access to the gadgets and the Wi-Fi connection, like the people are not quite ready or unfamiliar with the technology. And we cannot forget the poor internet connection as well.
Yeah.
It's been quite a difficult years, and now the situations are worsened because of the military imposing whitelisting and internet blackout all over the country.
And now this question is from Chan. He is also a volunteer in Sea Youth Forum. So his question was, given the present political turmoil in your country, what one message would you give to the future generation of Burmese youth?
Yeah, given the present political unrest, I would like to advise the future generation of Burmese youth not to fail to speak out against injustice, whether it affects you or not. I think in history we failed to speak out for the minor ethnic groups when they were suffering from the injustice, torture, and genocides conducted by the Myanmar military. So now I think now we are paying for our ignorance. So ignorance is not a bliss when it comes to injustice. So it is important to always stand for what is right before it's too late.
What is that one lesson that the world should learn from Myanmar?
Mm-hmm. So Myanmar, like other country, is not without flaws. Like there are lots of things that Myanmar people could improve. But the one lesson that the world should learn from Myanmar is the generosity of the people. As it is widely known that we are a poor country, and like lots of people are earning below the minimum wage, but our people are quite generous even during the crisis and political unrest situations, and we are willing to donate and we're willing to share what we have with the others.
Yeah.
So that is what the world should learn from Myanmar people, I guess.
Yeah. With all the injustices and, conflicts that the world is experiencing right now, we need more people who are very kind and generous to one another, That's very important. Yeah. Now, what is your message to anyone who's been struggling during the pandemic? I know that you too have struggled. I have my own struggles. So, I mean, seeing you right now today just means that you are surviving every, struggles that you encounter every day. So, to anyone who's been, on the verge of losing hope, what could be your message to them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the pandemic, it has taught me a lot, like mainly to value and cherish what I have now. And it has taught me to live in the moment because I have seen a lot of people I know who are dying and who have died already. So it taught me to live in the moment and start to start doing what is right at the moment, because after all, there is no time like present, right?
Yes, that's true. So, thank you so much for answering all the questions and for sharing your thoughts, for sharing a message of hope to everyone who's been struggling, during this pandemic, and to, giving us a glimpse of the beauty of your country, the beauty of your language, the beauty of your culture.
And thank you for letting me talk about my country, and thank you for letting me share about my country with the fellow Filipinos friends. And of course, thank you for letting thank you for getting my voice heard on your YouTube channel.
So thank you so much everyone for watching and for listening to us in my podcast. So see you again next time. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and bye bye. Thank you so much, Allison.